Oh, sorry. Just keep going.
Okay. So, as I was saying, Star Wars movies 8 and 9 are terrible, stupid, and dumb. Okay. So, in episode 1, there was a character in Star Wars called Jar Jar Binks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jar Jar Binks is a pretty good character, honestly. And there's a theory about him that says that he's actually a bad guy. He's a Sith. He's a dark side of the Force user. And Snoke, in episode 7 and 8. In episode 8, he dies. Now, Snoke, in the actual movies, he dies from Rey igniting the lightsaber and pulling it towards herself. But that is actually terrible and boring. It subverts our expectations, but not in a good way. So, imagine, because Kylo Ren's goal is to bring Rey to the dark side. Imagine if he succeeds, and so Kylo Ren succeeds in bringing Rey to the dark side of the Force, and Snoke is actually okay with this. Kylo Ren convinces him that this is an okay outcome. So, Snoke gets called to a meeting with a mysterious figure, Snoke's boss. And this figure pulls out a blaster. Pew! But Snoke is dead. Completely dead. Murdered. Deadified. Goned. So, yeah, that's episode 8. That's most of the changes I would have. Obviously, Luke wouldn't do that. Oh, yeah, and also instead of the climax being on the salt planet, it would actually be on the island planet. The rebels, all their forces, would be in like caves and stuff on one of the islands, on the island planet. I forget what it's called. And they would have Luke there too, training some new Jedi's, some cool stuff happening. And then all is good in the Force space and like stuff. And then in the sky comes a giant Empire ship, right? Then from a pod from this Empire ship steps out a dark, shadowy, familiar figure. And he says, "Misa Jar Jar Binks, and you'sa gonna die." And then he starts just blasting all the people. All the clones and whatnot, all the rebel leaders and stuff, and their forces are decimated. And Kylo Ren and Rey, I don't know how they got back to the good side or whatever, I don't know, but they're back, okay? And they have an epic battle with Jar Jar Binks. Lightsabers going around, and they have blasters, pew, pew. You know the Force. And in the end, they're injured. And Jar Jar Binks, he decides that it's just better to run away at this point and regroup, you know. And he runs away. He regroups, and he regroups hard. Okay. So now we're at episode 9, right? Episode 9. Instead of the big bad being Emperor Palpatine, like it was in episode 9. Spoilers, by the way. It wasn't that interesting. I don't need to say spoilers. So, yeah. The Emperor Palpatine, instead of him, it's Emperor Binks. Emperor Jar Jar Binks. And he doesn't use a lightsaber. He uses only a blaster. Because, although lightsabers are cooler, realistically, they're not actually that good of a weapon. A blaster is easier to just pew dead, you know? And he likes efficiency. He likes death. So, yeah. Instead of it being a whole, let's try and find Exegol with this knife and this Death Star and this evil Rey scene for some reason, instead, it's a space chase. right? The forces were decimated in episode 8 by Jar Jar Binks. And so they have their forces. They get in one big ship, or maybe just a fleet of ships, and they fly up, right? Because Jar Jar Binks came back, right? And they're running away from him. They go through asteroid fields. They go through different planets, different cultures. They got all the cool stuff. Maybe they can even go to a desert planet. I'll allow it. They can have Lando come back. I don't really care about him. And so they have another epic fight with Jar Jar, right? And someone's gotta die. Someone important. Now, there's one character in episode 8 and 9 that was really bad. Rose. So we're gonna kill Rose. I guarantee that at least 50% of the people there, if they watch the original movies, the original sequel trilogy, and then they watch my version, they will be very happy when Rose dies. We can keep Finn alive though; he's fine. So yeah, that's basically it. Jar Jar Binks, they defeat him. I don't know how. He's Jar Jar Binks. He's too powerful, but they probably outsmart him, honestly. So yeah, that's my headcanon. Not headcanon, my fan fiction, probably, for the Star Wars sequels. J.J. Abrams, I'm looking for you. That other guy, too. I don't remember that other guy's name, but I'm looking for him, too. Okay? I need to push these theories to them. So anyway, bye, y'all. I'm gonna disappear into the shadows like a beast of the night. Goodbye.